All right, Shalom Israel. Real quick video giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakadash. Barakatah Yahweh and Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle, elders, bishops, a great millstone. Most salutation to the brothers teaching word for the hope for elect, soon to be the elect, most high will. To the hopeful extended elect, Shalom blessings. Men, women, and children. We almost out of here. We're at the end. Do a quick video. I'm going to do a couple of more tonight. Most high will. And starting out, I'm going to just show you a few pictures from my job. And I already showed that the Monster drink, which when that has the Hebrew character 666, which I looked it up. It says, a viral long-standing conspiracy theory alleges that the Monster Energy logo hides the number 666, interpreted as Hebrew Vav letters. Proponents argue the logo's design, Unleash the Beast, slogan, and cross-shaped O promote anti-Christian messages. However, these claims are generally dismissed as misinterpretations of a stylized brand mark. And we already know, man, this America and the world is ran by the devil. But here's the proof right here, man. Here's the Hebrew character, the Syrian Hebrew, which you can find that also in the blue letter when we go to the blue letter. Here it is right here, Vav 6, and there's 3 of those right here. So that'll be 666, and it's a monster drink. This might even go back to something right here. So, back then, when the apostles was bringing stuff out concerning prophecy, nobody believed. Everything was a conspiracy theory, especially with our people too, But now even the example of Hollywood, they find out people really do sacrifice children. People really do eat children, babies. They really drink blood. They really, sacrifice, young to the old. So, we're not crazy, man. And this American citizens are most, and then it says also Unleash the Beast, because they are the beast, man. NATO and EU. And then the harlot is America that rides on the beast according to the scriptures, according to the Holy Spirit taught, dealing with the apostle, elders, bishops that break this down. But, this has Unleashed the Beast on the can too. What is that? So it's because, now people are really finding out. And they actually had, I showed you a picture, did a video where they had the actual 666 right by the can, right by the monster cans. So you can't make this stuff up, man. And these are straight devils, that's ruling the planet. It says the wicked, that earth is given to the hand of the wicked, covered the face of judges thereof. If not, who and where is he? And we pointed him out in the spirit to be the so-called white man. Now I'll show you those pictures from the job. Here's one of them: Death Wish Coffee. Why would you name? And let's say you have a company. Like this America's a whole house, so to speak. It belongs to them. They stole their land. They robbed villages and took over and made America, which was not called America at first. They made it theirs. So that's like you make an invention, you building the house, and everything with that house is going to be after your mind, after your state of mind, after you're gonna, you're gonna design it how you want to design it. Everything means something. You're gonna, anything you install, anything you add to the house, you know, the furniture, kind of furniture you like, the kind of, um, you know, water system you want ran, all that. So everything in America is built off of his state of mind, man. You know, like us being in the kingdom, when we get in the kingdom, we're going to have these devils build our kingdom to our liking, man. So everything, if they those type of people, the same ones that was, which they are, the same ones that was raping our people, robbing them, murdering them, burning them, hanging them, that's what America's built off of. And it says even in the scriptures, woe to him that buildeth the town with blood. I think it's one in Nahum 1:3, and Habakkuk. I forget what exact scripture, but they basically say the same thing. You know, woe to him, woe to the bloody city. So this whole America is built off the blood of slaves and the ideal of the so-called white man. They called this place the New World before, you know, when they got here. So what are they trying to do? Create a new world order after the order of them. You know, that's why you got to follow laws according to America that has nothing to do with biblical standards. It has none to, and then a lot of it has nothing to do with the Eastern world, their type of thinking. This is a interesting one, and they would call this like, nah, that's not really what it is. But and I showed the brothers, you know, Jan and Bon. I showed them, um, and you know, this is Mario, and it's a box of cereal. But look close with that. Look like in a distinguished mustache. Everybody know he got a distinguished mustache, just like Hitler, and he's throwing up, you know, the Hitler's signature. It looks, you know, looks like he is, but of course that's neither here nor there. They might say, "Call it, yeah, that ain't what it is," but that's how tricky the devil is. That's what he does. He does stuff like that, man. And they really are the Nazis and all that. They really are them. They really are the Germans. One of the heads of the beast is Germany Major and Germany Minor. The you know the Ottoman Turks, the you know, the Khazars. You know, I did even a video about. I might do it again. You know, every down and then I'll circle, retract, and do a video about that same subject about, you know, certain certain things, like I did with the Dukes of Hazzard, and it's mentioned Dukes of Edom in the scriptures, and they got the Confederacy flag as, you know, painted on their car. There's a TV show that came out, I think, in the '70s. So this not no crazy stuff that we're just mentioning, man. You know, you when you make products to your liking, you label everything, and everything you label it means something. You make a brand, it means something. You know, I don't care if somebody if they have a chair company, they be like that might be modeled after the chair that their grandma liked, and they say, well, I'm gonna get into a chair company because my grandmother used a rock in this chair, and I wanna, you know, I really loved her, so I'm gonna create a chair company. Every chair that he make, he think about his grandmother. He models it after what he thinks about her, and what have you. Same thing with anything that is made on the earth. Men make it according to their liking. They don't just make. And what thing is, what America has made these citizens believe, these docile citizens believe, is that America is in dealing with politics and presidents, like he making choices to soothe American citizens. They don't give a damn about American citizens, man. And especially black people, especially, you know, Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. They act like y'all act like our people act like our docile people, the ones that docile act like America's making choices to sue them, to make them, oh, let's build houses so Negroes can live in, and no, they did build projects and slums for Negroes, man. They're putting out poison and shit. They're not giving you real food. They're poisoning the air and all that. So how in the hell you think they caring for the Negroes and all that? They Negroes been voting since the '60s and ain't nothing happened, man. And they still talking about, well, you got to get out there and vote. The fuck out of here with that, man. There's another. It's beer. I remember the apostle said before, naughty America. America's being very naughty. And then somebody might say, well, that ain't talking about that. It's spelled Natty. That's not naughty. Naughty daddy, come on, man. And these people too are highly sexually perverted, man. And they steal from Jake. Who came up with who talks like this, man? Look at this one. They got a grandma on the cover with these nuts. You know who? Let me. Here it is. Who says that? Who? That's slang from Jake. Jake made that up, man. Serial Wicked, and it's a movie called. I think it's a series called Wicked, but they put it on the cereal box. You know, definitely that. They every Halloween they put all that into the stores. You know, they basically it's like they force it on people, man. Like you can't go to a store without seeing that, hearing the music that promotes that Easter, Christmas, and all that. Going back to these pagan holidays, these deities, these gods, so-called gods. They use the pagan gods and all that. Here's coffee. That Sasquatch dude, Tacti Squash. He's the beast, man. It says Black Rifle. He's the man of the sword. That's what he promotes, man. Gun magazine, uh, gun shop, pawn shop to sell guns. People, he allowed people to have gun. I mean, people, the guns are put in people's hands. People can get guns more they can, more than they have access to groceries. You could just buy a gun off the street. You can ask a random guy, "Hey, yeah, I'm trying to get a gun. Yeah, I got one. I got a couple guns. Ask, especially Edom. He like, yeah, I got like, what kind you need? The average Edomite. It says, here's another one. Black Rifle, same brand name, but it says Spirit of 76. That's not talking about 1976, it's talking about 1776, where they were so-called independent from Britain. You see they got the American flag flying banner. And these are colonial people that colonized our people. Loyal spirit. So they take pride in their product, and their products represent who they are. I even looked up this one. They got a military dog and it says Fur Missile, and I looked up Fur Missile. And it says a term is slang term. It's a slang term for highly trained police or military working dogs, particularly Belgian Malinois. I'm butchering that, man. Known for their extreme speed, agility, and bite force. Who were they using, against Jake? Police dogs. They had the fire hose and all that. But they sent police dogs to hunt Jake down in slavery, man. So all their forces and the military forces and even their religion, all these churches set up is to keep Jake trapped, man. Keep Jake deceived. keep Jake under surveillance, under submission, like, and they're gonna do the same thing with the MOTB, man. Jake think he's a free man. You in slavery, man. It says in the scriptures we are yet to this day in our captivity, man. Like, this is the worst captivity ever, man. Because it's pretty much the most deceiving time of Jake's captivity. You can let me see scripture. I think of Job 9:24. What else? Man of perdition. The man of sin be revealed. It says Second Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means. And these churches are devils. These churches are witches. They warlocks and witches and sodomites. They they don't teach nothing about war, nothing about us, looking out for the enemy, being aware, circumspect. You never got taught that in church, man. Never close to being taught that you have to believe in the Most High to protect you from the wicked. It's always this, well, stay out of trouble, son, and God will give who is the wicked of the earth, man? If not who and where is he? Who's doing stuff to the earth and our people to have them go off, to have them, they'll put swine in the earth, man, and not tell you about it. They'll put swine in your sandwich or feed you meat, unlawful meat, and not even tell you about it, man. That's the devil, man. And then you got a lot of people that are religious, but but when it comes to America, it's religious people in America, but the American good old way is like let people be who they want to be. Let them, liberty and freedom and justice for all. So there's no rebuke policy, there's no correction in America, but you got churches and religious people here. But they go after the American way because they ain't, they telling people like, come as you are, and you can be a sodomite, and you could be, you could be a woman that promiscuous woman. They say it in another way. It said, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come and falling away first. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, man. You can even look up that word perdition, and it's talking about the so-called white man. You look up that word perdition. Let me see. Son of perdition. Let me look at that word up right quick. And it talks about Esau to being the man of the sword, man. Like we said, he got a gun magazine. Look up Chinese gun magazine and see what pops up. Like I said, they had a practice in Germany. Germany practices gun. They pride themselves in guns, and it's a sport. And hunting is a main sport. It's almost like you breaking the law if you're not into hunting. It says that's a real high crucial practice in Germany. Perdition. Apolia. Yeah.
Strong's G684. Apolia.
Destruction.
Apolia.
The son of destruction, man. Son of waste. Son of damnable son. That's what he promotes, death. it's carnivals of death in this place. There's adultery. He promotes adultery. That's all you hear on the radio, especially with our people. Adultery all day. Things that we often say too. Sin is our kryptonite. Well, he encourages Jake to sin. You know, his dainties and his how he lures us in is to our destruction. He's giving women freedom to where they feel like they can, well, I can have many men too if they can have many women. Or men could be carelessly sleeping around with a lot of women. I could do that with men. But then they have women have a place in their heart, and they feel like that same little girl, like with the dream doll little girl that has a house and a husband, and and live happily ever after. The Ken and Barbie marriage relationship. Barbie, they didn't never have Barbie having two or three Kens and shit. So they look at marriage like that same thing. One husband that'll love me like I love him, and it's a joint marriage, and they think of like one on one. So it's just they end up in tears, and they end up like, oh man, I tried that, but they feel more whorish. They just feel like a whore, and then they get into drugs and all that. They get into the streets and gang life and all that. So it never works out for them that way. And not that glorifying nothing about drug dealing, because Jake, it doesn't work out for him going that route either. But I'm just saying, women try to just do the same thing as men, and it doesn't work. Destroying, utter destruction, man. And the Most High sent Esau against us. He said till he'll put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. They want to destroy us, man. They want to destroy our DNA. I'm gonna do another video concerning a movie called the Giver, and it's just about that. They want to wipe out our history, and put in place these new laws and these new and create a new future with AI. Create a new future with the MOTB, a lifestyle of you being subjected to a system that is going to become a prison to you, that has nothing to do with our power and has nothing to do with our customs and our history. You see Jake, they didn't got worse, man. Jake has got the music has gotten worse. You watch the NBA play. You used to be like, man, hey, they getting down, man, winning games, and you see the victory now. It's all politics and they wearing dresses on all that, and that started early. That started way then too. What else? You listen to music is about killing the next man and selling drugs and murdering his mother and his father and eating his children and murdering his children and all that. Then you have NFL players. You like, yeah, they won a championship. They doing the same thing. Have big, muscular guys out there and they wearing dresses and all that, man. And it's supposed to be a kind of like a war kind of sport. Vikings against the Rams and all that. But then you got all this bullshit. You go to the military, you think, man, I want to be defined as a man. You think that's what it is to be defined as a man, and you're like, man, they sharp, they in line. Then you find out, military is filled with sodomites and secrets and shit, and don't tell, type of stuff, man. Destruction, which consists of eternal misery and hell, of money, perishing, ruin, destruction. He's going to be ruined with his money, his riches, his self what do you call it? He really hates himself too. He hate that he gave his birthright up, man. He's like, what? That was the most stupid thing I ever did, and in his spirit, he's saying that his children are complaining about that because they see America dwindling, drowned, drain, man. There's nothing really here no more. There's no truth. There's no people can't trust each other. There's no nothing authentic anymore. AI, nobody can know when anything's real or not. You know, shit. This is man. You had all that transgenderism and Obama, protecting and rights of these strange people, strange creatures, new, so to speak, new things that's new to Jake. Like, man, we ain't never done that. We ain't never, but it's here, man. Just like that shit that's gonna when at MOTB, they gonna be like, we ain't never put no C hip in our bodies. I don't know about that. They gonna soothe it on Jake and they gonna make it think like it's just like getting your ears pierced, man. It's just like getting a tattoo. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, then if you put it that way, see, America changes the narrative, man, to fool our people and make it soothing. It says our people like soothing things. Deceit, tell us lies. Isaiah 30, I think, 10, like speak smooth things into us. Our people like to hear smooth things, man. They don't like to hear that the so-called white man's the devil. No, I got neighbors and they pretty cool, man. Who cares about the damn neighbors? We talking about the overall, the fathers, and which the children are the fathers, man. You basically come back as your fathers. We're talking about the whole big picture, man. We're not talking about some neighbor in the neighborhood. We're talking about the overall nation of the Edomites. You got people, Edomites that claim that they Christians, man. They're not even real Christians. But Jacob be like, well, this good. It's some good so-called white people, Comment anything by can be shake a hand. Anybody could do that. Anybody can give a gift. They say a gift destroys the heart. But what's really behind it all? What's really going to happen when people get tested to their limit? When the stakes are high according to their own salvation, their own families. They're going to shut the door on you, man. They're going to shut the door on Jake. The time of Jacob's trouble, like they did in the movie Leave the World Behind, they're not going to open the door to you. They're going to be like, nah, I don't trust you, man. I don't know what plus you looking kind of bummy. You ain't able to, fix yourself up and look decent. You're going to look like, yeah, they ain't going to trust you, man. And you can't trust them. And it says never trust thine enemy, man. Anyway, to the next video. Hope it's edifying. Shalom.